You know, when it comes to the house of Louis Vuitton, I always get the perspective of what men are thinking about purchasing. You know, Imagination, L'Immensité, Meteor, Afternoon Swim, Pacific Chill, Symphony, Ombre Nomad. And though LV for the most part markets themselves as unisex, today we're going to talk about a fragrance that they market specifically for the ladies. Strap up, we're going to go for a ride. Okay. I watch that head move side to side as I let the sin into the room. You are on time, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. From the house of Louis Vuitton, we have Jour c'est Leve. Jour c'est Leve. I think that's how you pronounce it. This fragrance got a 4.22 out of 5 on Fragrantica out of 440 votes. So a lot of people aren't buying it. A good amount, though, have put their nose on it as far as the ladies are concerned. And they've rated it to the point where it's creeping into mass appeal territory. So I'm excited to see. This feels like an above average fragrance just based on that. It's a 2018 release. It says here that it is a citrusy, floral, musky fragrance that represents an olfactive voyage, celebrating the first rays of the sun with what is described as refreshing and radiant composition. To convey this bright optimism, the perfumer chose one of his favorite ingredients, mandarin. I'm not going to read the other notes because I want a true initial impression. So citrus, floral, musk. I'm going to have to pull the sleeve up and get some more real estate. 1, 2. Oh man, I got a citrus blast like you wouldn't believe. That's one thing that LV has truly mastered, is these kind of just mass appealing, juicy bursts of florals, citruses, and fruits. Oh wow. Okay. Just radiates lush greenery and juicy citrus off skin. I'm going to let that sit because I want to see if it stays that radiant. On test strip, it's much lighter. In fact, I'm going to hit this one more time just to make sure there's a difference. I get a fresh green. I get a very unrealistic green note. It's like natural chemicals, but it's not the most photoreal greenness. It's got a real, I hate to say it, guys, but sometimes stuff just speaks to me in picture. It's got a very Banana Republic vintage green radio green note, or like a Banana Republic grasslands type of green note where it is synthetic. And somebody said this the other day, I don't know what you mean by synthetic. And I was like, come on, bro. Like, don't be that guy. Synthetics are used in just about everything. But when people say the words, this smells synthetic, they're saying it smells fake. Okay? So that's the context that I'm using here. If I'm talking about green and I say it smells synthetic, I'm saying it doesn't smell like a photoreal type of green scent, whether that be grass or vetiver, or trees or leaves, whatever the heck green would be to you, it doesn't smell real. So it's got this very synthetic green note to it, but it is very fresh and musky. And then I don't quite know what the citrus is. I think the note said mandarin. Yeah, it's mandarin, but it's got some other kind of, it's an animated mandarin, you know, it's a juicy fruit combo of some sort. I just get citrus. I don't know if it's like bergamot mandarin, but it's not the most mandarin scent to me personally. I get a very synthetic-y but fresh musky green note. I get a light mandarin, bergamotish, fresh, slight spicy, citrus, a juicy, fleshy citrus. And then I get what feels like a bloominess to all of that with like what has to be white florals. I don't know specifics, but that's the picture in my head. And it's very very white champagne-y in terms of the note profile. I do appreciate that this is robust, but it doesn't smell like a $400 or $500 fragrance. It animates and radiates as such, but as far as the depth of concept, there really isn't one. This just smells like somebody took a couple of common bass profile accords, stuck them all together, but they were a master at knowing what to put in it to increase the longevity and ramp up the radiance of it. Let's go ahead and switch screens here and see what we're working with. I mean, it got a 4.2, but I think that's because it's mass appealing, not necessarily because it's really good. Top notes: grapefruit, mandarin orange, orange, bergamot. Well, I was close with the orange and bergamot. The grapefruit, now that I see it, I do get a slight rininess from grapefruit. Not as juicy there. It's mostly a bergamot splash of orange type of scent. No currant at all that I'm picking up. Lily of the Valley, jasmine, green notes, osmanthus, magnolia, peony, and rose. I do get the sweet pink scent profile of the peony more than the rose. The peony, magnolia, lily of the valley, jasmine. It's more jasmine peony, to be honest, but it feels more white floral than pink floral, but the peony definitely is sticking its head out. White musk, ISO-E super, so okay, that's what's giving it all its carry. Very musky, vanillin, but the vanilla, there's no distinct note of vanilla. It's just kind of very lightly used to give punch to all of the fruit and floral notes, I feel. And then the super, just giving it carry. Yeah, big, very juicy, mass appealing scent. I'm going to be honest, ladies, this is perfectly unisex to me. Slight error there on for women only. This is certainly for a woman, though, as a casual scent. Men, this smells like Vintage Green 78, in all honesty, without the peony. It literally does, you know. Matter of fact, let me go bring these over here. Vintage Green 78, where are you? Where did I? Oh. Okay. I don't like to walk off camera, guys, but if I genuinely feel like something will bring a review value, I'm going to do it. So here we have Vintage Green 78. Let's just see what we're working with here. For those of you who don't know, Vintage Green 78 mostly is a animated, slightly synthetic green note, black tea, and fig and citrus. Okay. Okay. It's similar family, but Louis is more white floral, peonied out. You know, it's got the big floral padding to the citrus, whereas this is more of the leans more into the green, but it's the same feel, a very bright, happy, optimistic, fresh, versatile, everyday, blind reach, dumb grab scent. Now, you might not get Louis V level push. Let's see the longevity here. It says moderate. Okay, so, you know, I think Vintage Green could absolutely compete with it in terms of longevity. Same mood, same everything. What does this remind people of? Ball de Freak. Oh, no, it's people who like this also like. Where's the comparison? So there's only two. It reminds people of California Dream from LV and some fragrance I've never heard of. And those are shaky. I think it's in the same family as Vintage Green, but Vintage Green ramps up the green notes, and obviously there's no peony, so it's a little less soft and more tart. This is, you know, on the dry down, it gets more floral heavy than fruit heavy. In that opening, it seems very citrus, juicy, fleshy. all that top note kind of goes away and dissipates, but the floral, white floral and peony element kind of sticks to the base a little bit, and it carries mostly as a light, fresh, musky floral scent after that. And almost all the citrus leaves the fragrance. But men could absolutely wear that. I think it dries down more feminine. Let me put on this Grassland here. Super slept on fragrances from Banana Republic. That's nice, man. Grassland is great. Yeah, this is like a ramp up from Vintage Green 78. So 78's the closest thing to me to it. But men, you can wear this fragrance, but now on the dry down, it's starting to get more on the white floral peony musk side. So I do think it's feminine leaning upon dry down, but you could totally pull this off. But I do think this kind of has a very shampoo conditioner type of scent for the ladies. You know, the ladies that all ladies use expensive, you know, shampoos and conditioners that are typically floral and not necessarily citric, but definitely floral dominant. Rose, white florals, jasmines, lily of the valley, stuff like that. So this could almost imitate when a woman's lathering up her hair with all the different procedure, you know what I'm saying, as she comes out of the shower, and you get this slight airy mustiness from the shower humidity or whatever. I'm struggling here, as you guys can tell. But you have that smell of their hair when they're walking around and their hair is just bouncing off those floral notes from the shampoos and the conditioners and stuff like that. That's exactly what this feels like, is that scent just dried down. I give it, for Louis, I should really give it a 7. Like, let's be real here. This is quality perfumery, but man, it's not, nothing's photo real about this. It's high quality, but there's probably 10 or 15 shampoos in Sally's and at a Walmart that are expensive, more expensive than the other shampoos and stuff. But nonetheless, I could still get them from a Walmart and give you a profile pretty dang close to this. So do I think it's worth the price point? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not worth the money. I think even women would be inclined to give this an 8 at best. And that's just if you're into floral, light, airy fragrances, you might give it that. Just because it'll carry all day. It's dumb reach for a lady. It's LV, so you know it's not complete trash. But I think it's very average for the female category. To me, this screams shampoo, white floral peony shampoo at a high level. You know, your shampoo costs $50, $60. It screams glorified Bath and Body Works. But very mass appealing. You know, I think this is one of those scents that you buy a 20-year-old girl or a girl in high school or college, and this is all she wears. It's her signature scent, and she loves it, and she's not going to complain, right? That's the category I get. Grown women wearing this just feels like you just had the money, so you flexed. Doesn't smell like you have any kind of taste or character to you. That's my opinion. I'm a guy. What would I know, right? Any season, any reason. You could spray, ladies, you could shower in that scent. You can just hit yourself 10, 15 times. Women actually apply fragrance more heavy in this category than men. They don't even count. They just kind of get the mist bubble and just sit in it. They hug themselves. They hit it on their brush. They brush their, you know what I mean? Maybe, right? But anyways, yeah, I give it a 7, man. Very average scent profile. It's not bad. It's just very average to me. And when you juxtapose that with the cost of this fragrance, I got to imagine there's so many clones of this style scent. I mean, shoot, I was almost able to grab a unisex fragrance from Banana Republic and match it, right? That's crazy. That's ridiculous. That's blasphemy. But hey, for $400 or $500, you can get your name engraved on it. So, hey. This was Louis Vuitton's Jour. I hope I said that right. And it's a solid Dudley of a 7. I can appreciate this, but truthfully, a fragrance like this should not cost more than $100. Like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on your notifications. I drop content every single day. Ladies, have any of you ladies smelled this? You know, we're going to start having a lot more ladies on this channel. Have any of y'all smelled this? And what's your take on it? Am I bugging? You know, because as a guy smelling this on a woman, it feels very bottom tier. It feels average. I'm not turning my head when you walk by to this, you know, unless you got something else going for you. But I can tell this is a very happy, invigorating scent. And I mean, if a woman would shampoo with this and condition with this, it's clearly something she'd like to be around. But, you know, I mean, would you pay the $400 for it? Anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed week. And until next time, actually, let me know in the comments what other Louis Vuitton scents you would like me to try. And if I can ever think of alternatives, I'll certainly let you know, because we know people are chasing LV profiles all day long. We won't get into that. That's another topic for another day. Stay blessed, guys. Love y'all. Take care.